Hello, my name is Nora McFadden and I am the Executive Director of Danville, Pennsylvania Cancer. I would like to welcome you to our 21st annual Celebration of Life honoring our caregivers and our cancer survivors here in the community. If you would like more information or to contact us, you may reach us at 434-791-3227 and we are located at 223 Riverview Drive, Suite J here in Danville.
And we're having one of my favorite cousins here. Are you here as a guest or are you?
They said something about making a speech. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Well, that's one thing our family doesn't have a problem with is talking, so you'll do a great job.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. So we've got a lot of people here in the audience tonight that are waiting to go inside. Our event starts at 6:30. And actually it starts at 7, but they're going to let us go in at 6:30. We're all excited to have all the survivors and the caregivers here tonight. And I was trying to think what year this is, that this has been going on. Does any 21st year? That's about my age, 21 years. Wow, that's pretty good. So here we are celebrating 21 years. That's pretty amazing to have that many survivors out here.
Well, my name's Ron Scares. I am a cancer survivor, so I'm probably going to just go through a few lessons I learned during my travel, and I'm currently in remission, which is a good thing, and I've had to deal with asbestos-related cancer since 2012, and I am a board of supervisor for Pennsylvania County in the Westover District, so I wouldn't say roped into this by Vic Ingram, but he kind of pushed me into doing this, and it's not something I truly enjoy doing, getting in front of people. I think hopefully I have a good message, and I hope people will enjoy what I have to say, as long as I can spit it out the right way.
Yeah, just speak the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, my name is Colston Ware. I will be playing the piano for the Danville, Pennsylvania Cancer. Hope you enjoy it.
We'd like to thank the Danville and Pennsylvania County Cancer Association for hosting this event tonight. This is the 21st annual Celebration of Life, and it's just an uplifting and inspiring event. We thank all those who are involved in the planning. God bless you all.
Good evening. My name is Shirley Atkins. I'm the Client Aid Coordinator with Danville, Pennsylvania Cancer Association. My job is to coordinate clients with our services. I answer questions, I give moral support, I do a lot of paperwork. If you have questions, you can call us at 791-3227. The number's on your screen. I can apprise you of all the services we offer you if you are a cancer client, and we look forward to seeing you, not because you have cancer, but we like to help.
38 with 3 kids who need you in their lives.
My name is Barbara Fowler. I am on the executive board of the Danville, Pennsylvania County Cancer Association. I am the treasurer and I am the volunteer coordinator. I am also a 4-time cancer survivor. I am the one that likes to sit down with our clients and we can talk about what they're going through and we can relate how I have gone through with mine. It is a blessing to be around our clients.
I just want to thank the Cancer Association for what they have done.
Hi, I'm Vic Ingram. I'm the president of the board of directors for Danville, Pennsylvania Cancer. And on behalf of our board and our staff, I wanted to welcome you. This is our 21st annual Celebration of Life, which is a very wonderful, inspirational program that we have annually to honor and celebrate the lives of our clients. Every day's a gift, but when you can celebrate a year, that's even nicer. And so if you have any needs and you live in the Danville, Pennsylvania County area and you've been diagnosed with cancer, the information is at the bottom of the screen. You call and we'll do everything that we can do to help you try to unravel the effects of cancer. We can't stop it, we can't cure it, but we can surely help you manage it. So just give us a call and let us know how we can help you. Thank you.
Singing, and then you can dismiss and greet each other, hug each other, and just celebrate God's goodness.
I'm Vic Ingram, one of the board members. Let me, on behalf of the Danville, Pennsylvania Cancer Association, welcome you to our 21st annual Celebration of Life. Give yourselves a hand. I don't know about y'all, but from my perspective, my view, this is a beautiful sight. And I look forward to this every year. One of our board members, Jeff Lynch, pastor of Compassion Church here in Danville, is going to bless our food. So Jeff, if you'd come on, and if he wants to say anything, he surely can.
I'm just going to agree with Vic. What a beautiful room. We are blessed that you have made your way out tonight. We are excited about spending a little time with you. And with that, let's ask a blessing and we will move right along. Father God, we thank you tonight for this group of people. Lord, we thank you for your hand in the lives of every person who is in this room, every family member, every person who has struggled, every person who has been blessed by your provision. Father, we remember those who have struggled and maybe gone on, Lord, but Lord, tonight we thank you for your sovereign hand in this world and for everything that you're doing. Lord, I pray the conversation will be amazing around these tables. I pray that the conversation will uplift everyone who is involved tonight. Be with our speakers, Lord. Bless our food. Bless our time. Let us walk out of this room tonight with hearts filled with joy, filled with hope and love. In Jesus' name, amen.
We have a relatively brief program for you, but before we go into that, I have the honor of introducing our new executive director. Nora came to work 1st of October of 2017, so she hasn't been here quite a year yet. But we had some pretty nice candidates that applied, but at the end of the day, Nora got this job, and she got it because she's a good old country girl. She's home folk. She was fairly educated, still working on that. Used to be an airline stewardess, and told me that she took over the plane a time or two. I don't know if that was, how they let flight attendants go up and help fly. Ron, you probably know something about that. But anyway, we're just tickled to death to have Nora McFadden as our new executive director. So at this time, she's going to come up and have a few words, and y'all give her a nice round of applause.
Alrighty, so as Vic said, my name is Nora McFadden. I am the Executive Director of Danville, Pennsylvania Cancer since October. Pennsylvania County native, took off or flew off, became a flight attendant after graduating from Radford in communications, and I stumbled my way back to my roots, and that's here. Alright. So first and foremost, I would like to thank everyone for coming and welcome to our 21st annual Celebration of Life, an event to honor you, our cancer survivors, and our caregivers. As most of you are aware, Danville, Pennsylvania Cancer is a strictly local nonprofit organization providing assistance affected by cancer for those folks here in our community. This year, we expect our patient aid to reach over $231,000 for prescriptions, travel, supplies, equipment, and other special needs. So we are trying to make a difference here for folks like you. So tonight is meant to honor you and your survival and to be the hope for all cancer survivors. And I would like to recognize you at this time. If you are a survivor of 1 to 4 years, please stand. time, I would also like to recognize those who have stood alongside their loved ones during this journey. If you have been or continue to be a caregiver to someone affected by cancer, please stand. If you are fighting and actively receiving treatment, please stand at this time. So as you can tell, almost everyone here tonight has either had cancer or have taken care of someone with it. This just goes to show that we are all in need of help, and we just never know when the need will arise. On behalf of the board, volunteers, and staff, I thank each and every one of you for your continued battle and assistance through this fight. We are continuously praying for you.
Thank you, Nora. Good job. I have the honor of introducing a family that I've known for many years, and they're very special to me. God put on my heart to ask them to come and sing tonight. That's how I know that when I do stuff, it's right. But before they come, I want to tell you a funny story. Jennifer White came to sing for me at a law enforcement memorial service many years ago. And, in the midst of trying to get set up, we had an outside service. We had chairs under a tree, and Jennifer came early and did the sound check, and she was sitting there, and I think, bending over to pick up some programs or something. And then all of a sudden, being up under this tree, I should have known better, but I felt something plop right here. And you know that feeling when you know that ain't good. And I looked over at Jennifer and I said, "Is it what I think it is?" She says, "Yeah." And I said, "How much?" She said, "A lot." So, she came to my rescue and cleaned out the back of my head and mixed in with this gray, so it was okay. But at this time, I have the honor of welcoming Steve and Jennifer and Sarah White. They're going to come and they're going to sing a song that was made famous by Martina McBride. And many of you can relate to this because they're going to love you through it.
Well, when you love somebody and you're their friend, when something goes plop in their head, you help, right? And those of you that have gone through cancer or are going through cancer know how important it is to have those family members and friends that love you by your side. And what a joy it is. What a joy it is to serve someone in their moment of crisis when they're facing cancer. It's a beautiful thing, and it's an honor to be here tonight to celebrate your lives. We celebrate. And this song celebrates that. When you're going through cancer and those that hold you up, it's called "I'm Gonna Hold You Through It."
All right.
Dropped the phone and burst into tears. The doctor just confirmed her fears. Her husband held it in and held her tight. Cancer don't discriminate or care if you're just 38, with 3 kids who need you in their lives. He said, "I know that you're afraid, and I am too, but you'll never be alone, I promise you, 'cause when you're weak, I'll be strong, when you let go, I'll hold on, when you need to cry, I swear that I'll be there to dry your eyes, when you feel lost and scared to death, like you can't take one more step, just take my hand, together we can do it. habits, forced smiles and baggy shirts to hide what the cancer took from her. She just wants to feel like a woman again. She said, I don't think I can do this anymore. But we took her in our arms and said, that's what our love is for. 'Cause when you're weak, I'll be strong. When you let go, I'll hold on. When you need to cry, I swear that I'll be there to dry your eyes. When you feel lost and scared to death, like you can't take one more step, just take my hand, together we can do it. I'm gonna love you through it. And when this road gets too long, I'll be the rock you lean on. Just take my hand, together we can do it. I'm gonna love you through 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 it. I can remember when my mom was battling cancer, and she asked me to cut her hair. So in our living room, I stood there, cut my mom's hair. I couldn't see her tears, and she couldn't see my tears. But it's just what you do. You're just there to help. What a blessing it is to have those in our lives that do that for us. It's a joy. It's not a burden. It's a joy. But more than that, when you believe in God, oh, you have a faith and a hope that someone greater is holding you. Someone greater is reaching out to you. Someone greater is holding your hand, lifting your head. He's there in the darkest moments. And even when you're in pain, when you're sick, when you can't hold your head up on your own, you can say, it is well with my soul. Amen. It may not be well with your body yet. We know that He is the healer. Sometimes He heals on earth. Sometimes He heals miraculously, and it says we are present with the Lord. Amen. Absent from the body, present with the Lord. He's our healer, and He lifts us up and holds us. So although tonight you may not be well, it is well with your soul, and you can trust Him. And that's And many of you know the song as well. Our daughter Sarah's going to sing, and feel free to sing with us. When peace like a river
make that nice thing. What a beautiful job. And now we know. I think that just described faith, if I'm not mistaken. But again, Stephen, thank y'all so much, Jeff. It's a beautiful job. I met this fellow not too long ago, and once again, it was placed in my heart to ask if he'd come and speak because he could relate to y'all and y'all could relate to him because he is a cancer survivor. Mr. Ron Scarce is a member of our Board of Supervisors, Westover District. For some crazy reason, he ran a couple of years ago and got elected. And I firmly believe the older I get, the more I understand that things just don't happen. They happen for a reason. Just like years ago when I met Jennifer and she sang for me and the bird paid the visit. And how she blessed you tonight. And Ron is going to come and bless you as well. So anytime you're ready, buddy, come on.
Brings up a lot of feelings and it brought me to almost tears. And I'm going to try to get through this thing regardless. Thank you, Stephen, Jennifer, and Sarah. That was great. Now, thank Vic for giving me this opportunity to speak to you guys. I have to admit, when he first asked me to be the keynote speaker for this event, I almost had to ask him. He recently suffered a head injury. By asking me to speak, I don't think he realized he was asking me to do two of the least favorite things I like to do in the whole world. The first is getting up in front of a bunch of people and trying to sound intelligent. And the second is talking about me. I truly hate being the center of anyone's attention, and I'm sure you're probably asking, why would I be a politician? But that's all right. I am a cancer survivor. And so bear with me, and I'll try to make this as painless as possible, with the hope that by telling you my story, I can impart a lesson or two, learn from my journey dealing with this devastating disease. First, I suppose I should give you a little of my background and how I ended up here tonight. I grew up in the city of Danville and graduated from George Washington High School in 1981 after a truly lackluster educational experience. I was blessed with guidance from my uncle, Tom Tucker. He served in the Navy during World War II, and he later joined the Air Force and eventually retired. Thankfully, he persuaded me to turn to the military for some direction in my life, and I enlisted in the Air Force in 1982. I have to admit, when I first reported basic training, I kind of had to rethink that process, but after what turned out to be a 22-year career, I can honestly say it was an awesome experience for me. Now, the best thing my Air Force career provided for me was it allowed me to pursue the college education track. That's something I certainly didn't plan on doing. And it allowed me to gain some very remarkable skills in communication, equipment repair in the IT world. It made for an easy transition into a lucrative government contracting job when I retired from the Air Force back in 2004. While the income I was making was pretty good, I did have to spend a lot more time away from my family. In some of those vacation spots like Iraq and Afghanistan. While the new job itself wasn't much of a change from my Air Force life, I can say it was a little closer to the tip of the spear, as they like to say, because of the government entities I was supporting. All the stories that you hear about how bad those kind of places are, it's probably worse than you can imagine. So I hope tonight that you'll keep those men and women serving in harm's way tonight, give them a little prayer time. Now, one of the benefits of doing this contract work, it kind of allowed me to move my family back to this area, and we've been living in Pennsylvania County since 2005. Now, everything was going smoothly for us after the move back home until around Thanksgiving of 2011. I started having some intense abdominal pain, and it kind of felt like my abdomen was full of air, like an overfilled balloon. Had a hard time breathing, and for me the worst part was I couldn't eat. And the reason I can remember this so vividly is our family has a huge family reunion every Thanksgiving, so just about every kind of food and dessert you think can be prepared for an event, we had it. So for me it was just pure torture not being able to eat. But it also made me realize something was seriously wrong with me. Now, the next few months, it was pretty rough. I spent a lot of time heading to the getting to local ERs, getting a ton of pain meds, and having fluid drained out of my abdomen. It turned into a bad pattern. There was a lot of pain, no eating, hard to breathe, a trip to the ER. And I must have had probably a scope or some kind of medical device put into every open slot in my body. I'm sure you don't want to hear about that, but they just couldn't seem to figure out what was going on. Finally, I got transferred to Duke on one of those ER trips. They completed a battery of tests and included a needle biopsy of my abdomen. Just think of the emotional roller coaster ride that I went on with not only these ER visits, and you get a needle biopsy result that they say it's cancer. Basically, you're told to go home and die in a way. And then we get a phone call not too long after that they were wrong with the test. It wasn't cancer.
Wow.
This all happened around, I think, Christmas time. So it was a great Christmas for us. So my head's still spinning, and I was referred to the head infectious disease department at Duke. Their idea was I had caught some exotic disease in all those fun places I'd been in, and they were just going to treat it with antibiotics, they hoped. So they did a pretty good exploratory surgery, took ample samples of my abdomen, and finally got the answer to this mystery ailment. It was peritoneal mesothelioma. Now, for those of you that don't realize, you can get that cancer in your abdomen. Most people get it in their lungs, but I'm one of the rare few, and I guess that means I'm special. Now, this kind of brings what the worst thing my military career did for me. With this confirmed diagnosis of asbestos-related cancer, the first question the doctor asked was, have I been exposed to asbestos? Initially, I couldn't think of one instance. But then I started to re-examine all the Air Force bases I'd been at, the dorms I lived in, the places I worked, the chow halls I ate in, and even the gyms that we worked out in. I think they were all built prior to 1980. And I'd say probably 95% had some kind of major renovation going on at the same time. So for your information, with most buildings built prior to 1980, they're loaded with a ton of asbestos materials. And the issue that you have is when those fibers are disturbed and get in the air. So I think in the Air Force today, they won't even let you drill a hole in the wall without doing some kind of asbestos decontamination. So there's been a huge change since I was in the military. On a side note, I'm still fighting the VA. I'm trying to get them to link this cancer to my service, and probably after 6 years of appeals, I'm still fighting. So everything you hear about the VA is probably true. And I guess the other thing too, I'm sure you've seen all those mesothelioma commercials. They keep telling me I got billions of dollars set aside for me. I'm still waiting on that money. I guess at this point, I should give you one of my lessons learned. When you get a diagnosis of cancer, do yourself a favor and research, and do more research. The time I spent investigating my particular brand of cancer aided in my care in multiple ways. While the folks at Duke were able to diagnose my disease, their brand new cancer center wasn't quite up to speed with the treatment. Because of my research, I knew there were three types of cancer cells with mesothelioma, and two of them, they taken the traditional option of the chemo, surgery, and radiation. The cancer just does not respond well and kind of makes the disease worse. So I asked the doctor, what kind of cell are we dealing with? He said, I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to go ahead and go full bore with the treatment. It doesn't matter. And I said, yeah, for me that wasn't the right answer. So I guess another way that this research of mine helped, I found out that Wake Forest Baptist had pioneered a lot of the treatment for this particular kind of cancer. So my next lesson is get a second opinion. Now, I can guarantee you that was a great choice for me, because the care I received from my surgeon oncologist at Wake Forest has kept me kicking for the last 6 years. So I think I made the right decision. Now, I'll just give you an idea what this treatment is like. Did about 4 months of chemo, and then they do a surgery with a procedure called hyperthermic intraperitoneal chemotherapy, or HIPEC. Basically in the surgery, they cut you from your breastplate down to your personals, kind of look like a fish when they're filleting the fish, and they go in and they skim, they resect, and they take out anything that looks diseased. And after that, they close you back up, and they hook you up to this high-tech machine. So what that does, it kind of gets a heated chemo solution off of your abdomen. You let that soak for a couple hours. And it's kind of funny, the staff, they like to call that the shake and bake for obvious reasons. You got to have a sense of humor when you're dealing with these people. But well, this, I think I ought to give you a few interesting facts about this disease that I'm dealing with. And I'd say about 40% of peritoneal mesothelioma patients survive 1 year. The American Cancer Association states that the survival rate is typically 10 to 11 months, meaning that a lot of people die in the short term with peritoneal mesothelioma. And this is pretty important too. Only 10% survive 5 years. Now this is where I feel like I need to give you my most important lesson learned. As you can imagine, a diagnosis of cancer can throw your emotions into overdrive. Because of my faith in Jesus, I was able to release all that fear and put it into His hands. Amen. I don't know how anyone could go through a cancer battle without Jesus walking with them, especially during the rough days. I can bear witness to His healing power too. From the date of my diagnosis, I've survived well over 6 years now. Amen. I know God is stacking the odds in my favor. All right. And even though I had to go through a second round of chemo and surgery back in 2016, I gave this up to God early on in the process. And with me, it's been a peace, and I don't care what the future holds. I know I'm in His hands. My wife, I'm trying not to get my wife to cry, but my wife Alyssa and my children are here tonight, and she wanted me to put this part in the speech of a lesson learned. A lot of times, the people that get the diagnosis, it's not a hard thing for them to go through the cancer process, and especially for me because I released it to God. But the immediate family, sometimes they can't handle it. Amen. It has nothing to do with my family's faith because they're all Christians. It just appears that they're the ones that have a hard time coping with it. Amen. And my children, they were 14, 16, and 17 when I was diagnosed. And we all know teenagers have a rough life. Amen. They don't need to go through this kind of stuff. But that brings me to this lesson. Get counseling to your closest family members. I wish my family and my children had taken advantage of that early on, because I think they've really disrupted their life for a long time. Now, thankfully, I believe we're all in a good place now, but the years that they had to deal with this, it wasn't good. Now, the last lesson learned I want to discuss is keep living. Keep doing things. Get up and move. I was in remission from 2012 to 2016, and while I never did get my energy levels back to the point I could go to full-time work, I did make a run for the Board of Supervisors. and so I was elected back in November of 2015. Now, don't let this disease stop you from making a difference. Amen. It'll be rough at times, I know, like going through a second round of chemo and surgery, but you'll be surprised at what you can accomplish if you actually try. Now, as I close, I hope this hasn't been too painful, but as I close, let me recap those lessons learned. First, get educated on your type of cancer. It can make a huge difference in your care. Second, get a second opinion. Find the right treatment center for you. Pay attention to your immediate family. They're trying to get through this thing, and it's usually harder on them. And don't have a pity party and stop living. I think in the most important part, I think get a spiritual release. For me, it was relying on my Christian faith and putting this whole cancer thing in God's hands. Don't let fear steal your joy. Amen. And lastly, who can forget the video of Jimmy Balvano's 1993 ESPY Award where he said, don't never give up, don't never give up. Well, I think he was on the right track. I would have to change him slightly to say, give it up to God. If you can find that release, I guarantee you that you're going to be able to walk down this difficult road and you won't be alone. Amen. Remember, Jesus is a chain breaker. Yes. Thank you, Lord.
I said tonight I wasn't going to cry, but y'all keep working on me. How about that? You know, when I found out he was an Air Force veteran, well, I am too. I joined in '75 and came out, 3 years later, did 3 years inactive. And which one of us looks the youngest? I just had to do it. But listen, Ron, thank you so much for taking your time to come out and share with us and for bringing your beautiful family. And I lost my mama to cancer as well. So everything that I've heard and through way of word or song, I can relate to that. The last thing I did for my mama was serve her vanilla ice cream the night before she died. So I remember. Miss Nora, you come on up here. Just a little bit more and we're going to let you go.
At this time, I want to recognize our board of directors. So if you will, just please stand. On our executive board, we have the president, Mr. Vic Ingram. Vice President Charlene Harris, she's back there in the back. As well as our secretary, Karen Sadler, who's in the back. And a 4-time cancer survivor, our treasurer, Miss Barbara Fowler. We have Mr. H.F. Haymore, who helps us out and makes it possible. Miss Renee Hughes. Cancer survivor, Karen Johnston. Jeff Lynch. Jan Quinn, who is in the back. Mr. Mark Worley. Those who could not be here tonight include Wynn Bishop, Anita Davis, Jeff Rodden, and Lisa Shorter. Right now, I also would like to acknowledge a very special lady who many of you have seen the face and have had the pleasure of speaking to her over the phone or in person. That is our client aid coordinator, Miss Shirley. Yay!
A lot of people. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. The fact that you just came makes me want to cry. When I was interviewed for this job, somebody, and I think it might have been Jeff, asked me, he said, well, Shirley says, clients come, all kinds of clients come in the office, and sometimes they're overwhelmed and they're in tears. What would you do in that situation? My answer was, cry with them. And many of you know, because you've seen me do it, because I have a heart for you. And I'm glad to be here and be able to serve you. Those of you who don't recognize my face, if you close your eyes and you hear Danville, Pennsylvania Cancer, Mr. Shirley, this is the face. So that's just me. But one of the reasons they wanted me to get up here right now is to talk about our volunteers. We have volunteers for our organization, and I don't know what we would do without them. But we have a program that's been going on for some time where we have one van and volunteer drivers. We only have 2 volunteer drivers. So when somebody calls and says, I need to go to UVA, I'm sorry I can't take you. Our driver's tied up. But it is a good service that our organization offers, and we could not do it without our volunteer drivers. The 2 we have are John Walters, he's our newest one, and Dan Beck. He's been with us a few weeks, and Danny's been with us almost a year. And I have to say, I don't know what we would do without these men, especially Danny. We had another volunteer driver, a lady, excuse me, a lady who drove for a while, but her cancer came back, and she's had to start treatments again. And she tells me as soon as I get through this, I want to drive again. And so when she first went out, Danny was sometimes driving 4 days a week. Danny goes, both of them go to UVA, Duke, Roanoke, Martinsville, Wake Forest, wherever you need to go. If you cannot get to your appointment, we try to see that you can get there. We could not do it without these drivers. But it is my privilege tonight to award our Volunteer of the Year award to Danny Beck. His wife Mary, because she lets him do this. Some idea of what these drivers do. We have a client that has to be at UVA at 8 o'clock in the morning for his treatment. So that means Danny has to get up about 4, pick this gentleman up, and make it all the way to UVA on time. He stays up there for the whole 8-hour treatment. So they get home maybe 8:30 or so. That's when he drops the client off, and then he still has to go home. That's a very long day that you don't get paid for. Amen. So let's give these drivers a hand. Go above and beyond what they have to do. They don't have to do any of it, and it's their own time. And whenever they take anybody anywhere, it's usually most of the day, if not all of the day. And they, back in the winter, when Susan had to quit, and before John came on, it was just Danny, and he was driving sometimes 4 days a week. That's a full-time job, just about, for no money. So we really appreciate these gentlemen. And if you know of anybody willing to give up some time, let us know, because we need more drivers so we don't have to work these two to death. But we really appreciate all of our volunteers, not just our drivers, but everybody that volunteers anything for us. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sharon. John, listen, you hang in there. Chances are you might be up here next year. I got to tell you about Danny. Danny and I went to high school together, and we rode Riverside like nobody's business. And it was in him. It was in his Volkswagen. What? Do what? Oh. Okay. He's getting ready to blackmail me. So the reason I went to the Air Force is either that or prison. So I thought it was a pretty good choice. Anyway, congratulations, Danny. You know, I'm so honored that both these guys are helping us, but Danny, like Shirley says, really stepped up, and we do need more van drivers. So if you're interested, please let us know. A couple of years ago, as a board, we decided that we would recognize folks outside our organization that went above and beyond to help us. And we developed what's called the Mary Crider Award. It's a service award for somebody outside. And the first recipient was George and Sarah Buchanan, and then the second was a Danville Running and Fitness Club. And this year, I have the honor of presenting this award to the Eagles Club. And at this time, if Mr. Q. Motley would come up here. He was wondering why he was here, because he's the vice president, Jerry Shelton, who is the president. But on behalf of the Danville Pennsylvania Cancer Association, we wanted to present you with this award. And this is in grateful appreciation for your many years of continued support and service to us. So, Q, there you go, buddy. These guys are just unbelievable. Guys and girls, I'm so sorry. You know, they ride motorcycles and they do cool things. And my wife said maybe I could have one day. She just can't. But You know, over the past few years, they have done so much for us. The Dean Ferris Memorial Ride, who was one of their members that passed away of cancer, he was one of the clients, of our clients as well. And from that point till now, I forget, Hugh, do you know how much money y'all have given to us?
More than 90,000.
Yeah, $90,000. They just don't stop. They're selling tickets for a lawnmower right now, riding lawnmower. So if you need a ticket, CQ before you leave. You got tickets? Yes. Okay, good. But like I said, I can't begin to tell you, they're always doing something for somebody, and it looks like we're the bigger recipients of that award because of their late member Dean Ferris, and you know, keep his legacy alive. And we're just so honored that they chose us to give over $90,000 to. Because listen, if it wasn't for folks like the Eagles, we couldn't help people. Amen. And we don't ask anything of our clients. You know, we just do all we can to help them. Next, I have another very special award very quickly to present. It's the Helen Fleener Award. And if you knew Miss Helen, anytime you went to Sam's Club or Lord knows Blackwell Dodge or some of these other places, you would see Helen. And she was either talking to you or giving you something for free or having you taste something. But Helen was a board member. She is Charlene Harris's mother, and we lost her a few years ago as well. And so we decided to have an award just for board members that went above and beyond. And the executive board is exempt from you know, we pick, we vote, and so I have the honor of presenting this award to a dear friend, Mr. Mark Worley. Now you'll know why I got the award, because he's back in the kitchen. He's either working or eating. So but he'll be up here in a second. Y'all just bear with us. But I can't tell you how important board members are. They're the folks behind the scenes. You got a glimpse of who some of them were, but they're the ones that make all this happen. Not taken away from our staff, of course not. But you know, our board members mean so much. And a few years ago, we also decided to have what's called a lifetime board membership. And it's for board members that have served faithfully, that decided that they would step off the board and go into a lifetime position. And one of our lifetime members is here, and I want you to honor Miss Earlene Mills. She's in the back. Earlene. In the back with bathrooms, I think. Mark.
Susan hollered for me. I thought she broke something.
You see, I can always count on my buddy Mark. But anyway, this is the Helen Fleener Director's Award for all that you do, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just a couple more things that we've done. You know, when we bought that van a couple of years ago, we changed our name to be more inclusive of the county and just made a commitment to serve more people. And, you know, while our client base has exploded, our intake by way of money has not, but we're surviving, let's put it that way. So, having said that, if you live in the county, you know of any organization or you work with somebody like to help donate, that's how we make things happen. But I wanted to give you a list of some of our people that we need to thank. First of all, the volunteers. And that list is so long, I could not tell you all of who they are. Barbara Fowler sort of coordinates that. But as far as tonight, the kitchen workers, the folks that put the food out, that put it together, give them a round of applause. There's so many local donors that we need to thank, but there's some big ones here that I have to thank. The JT Minimart Foundation. They've been so good to us. The Community Foundation is another. Danville Regional Foundation is yet another. Of course, United Way. And just recently, one of the things we asked Nora to do is write grants and make money, because the more money we have coming in, the more that we can do for others. And God has provided. I can tell you that right now. We don't have a whole lot of money, but we have exactly what we need. But she wrote a grant recently, and the Central Foundation gave us $15,000 just the other day. Continuing on by way of thanks, Miss Susan Athena in the back. Y'all give her a hand. She is I forget her title because it sort of changes, but she's the connection between you guys, the hospital, and our organization. Of course, Soba Cancer Center, let's give them a several volunteers that came to help serve, and then they had to go take care of their families. The Cancer Research and Resource Center, Diane Whittle was here earlier, and she asked me to please mention the pamphlet that is at your place set. You put this in your pocket, take it with you. They have a Living Well program, of course, for pain and cancer, and then they have a gut check with Bart Bancroft. I don't know what that means. It sounds like a comedian, but that sounds pretty good. But do take this with you and support them, and that's a wonderful resource. But Buddy Ernest Richardson, he came and filmed for us last year. He'll post this on Facebook in its entirety. Sometime he'll clip it. But you know, right after he came and did a great job filming for us last year, he had a grandson diagnosed with cancer. But through that, they're standing strong, and little fella's doing good, right?
Yes, sir.
And that wonderful little piano player who I was told I made a halfway compromise with him. He said, "Don't make me talk and don't embarrass me." I said, "Okay." Listen, you are a blessing. Thank you for taking time, and Dee and your mom Elizabeth, thank y'all for coming and sharing with us. And you know, having said that, I know I had forgotten something or somebody. Y'all help me out. Yes, sir, please. Yes, this is a if you're a caregiver, this is something great. It's a free caregivers workshop. It's going to be at DCC on September the 14th, and we'll have this. If it's something that you're interested in, it's hosted by the Lunch and Pilot Club here in Danville, sponsored by the Southern Area Agency on Aging. So anyway, if you're interested, let us know, and we'll give you further information. Okay? Any questions, comments, suggestions? Again, this is a beautiful site. I wish you could come up here and see what I'm looking at. Let me in close and thank Ron and your family for being here. Jennifer, Stephen, and Sarah. Am I good this time? Everything. And Miss Nora, you got anything you want to say before we close out? Y'all have a song you want to take us out with? Yeah. This is not on the agenda. I just thought I'd ask. Yeah. Because you know what? You touched a lot of people. Amen. I saw that. And I think if you don't do nothing to sing it again, I think they will. Amen. See, but listen, I got a lot of family members back here. My brother, my sister, my wife came in, my other daughter. They tolerate me when I'm at home, they tolerate me when I'm gone, so that's a good thing. But anyway, what do you think? Amen. Yeah, y'all come on. And listen, after they sing, as you say in school, you shall be dismissed. They call it the encore, Jennifer. Come on.
We'll start singing, and then you can dismiss and greet each other, hug each other, and just celebrate God's goodness. Doctor just confirmed her fears. held her tight. Cancer don't discriminate or care if you're just 38 with 3 kids who need you in their lives. He said, I know that you're a